3FM 92.7. We're coming to you live from our studios at Adisawe Kanda. My name is Christabel Success Trevor. Coming up this morning, legal vacation under fire as lawyers sues AG and CJ over practice. Also in this bulletin, Chair of the Mines and the Energy Committee during the AXA deal, Alhaji Amadu Sorogo, breaks silence and denies any wrongdoing.
Of my committee received anything. So those who are saying that money is exchange, we are challenging them. They should come and when this is the one who took it. Maybe I can then go and demand my shares. I don't know.
Plus, Electoral Commission to review CI 127 to strengthen results transmission and management ahead of future elections. We've got details of these and a whole lot more for you. Don't go away. Thank you for keeping your dial here on 3FM. Now, a legal practitioner, Elom Kwamigoni, has filed a suit at the High Court in Accra challenging Ghana's practice of legal vacation at the Superior Courts of Judicature. Mr. Goni argues that the suspension of court sittings during legal vacation, particularly at the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, causes undue delays in the hearing and determination of cases and restricts litigants' access to justice. He is asking the courts to declare the practice unconstitutional, arguing that it is inconsistent with several provisions of the 1992 constitutions, including the constitutional guarantee of a fair hearing within a reasonable time. He's also challenging Rule 61B of the Court of Appeal rules and Rule 82 of the Supreme Court rules, which provide for the suspension of sittings during the 2-month legal vacation. The plaintiff is consequently seeking an order striking down the provisions to the extent that it permits the suspension of the courts and wants the Chief Justice directed to put in place administrative measures to ensure the continuous availability of the Superior Courts for the timely hearing and determination of cases even during periods designated as legal vacation. In a related development, lead counsel for former National Signals Bureau Director Kwabena Edubuahin and his wife Angela Ejebuating Samuel has justified his reason to absent himself from court proceedings on Tuesday, August 11, despite the Chief Justice's directive for the court to proceed with the case, albeit legal vacation. Atachia explained that he simply absented himself from court due to legal vacation. Speaking on TV3's Daily Brief, August 11, 2026, he noted that the legal vacation has been set aside for lawyers to rest after actively engaging in trials and will uphold that practice. According to him, only emergencies and consequential motions can be heard during legal vacations and not main trials, insisting that virtual meetings are being held even in such instances. He adds he will not show up in court on August 17 for the next hearing.
I'm not going to court at all. But what is informing that? Why should a judge in a very technical case of this nature, that a man's lawyer is on vacation and the judge is saying that if your lawyer doesn't come, go and find another lawyer. But he's saying that you come and stand there and cross-examine. How can a lay person, cross-examine in such a matter? You are asking a carpenter to go and do a surgery. For what? Why should I go to court? What is the meaning of legal vacation? What is special about this case? Some of these things you are failing to answer. And I know they can't answer. What is special about these cases? When we try these cases in the vacation, the inflation of Ghana will go down. What are we saying?
You just heard the voice of Samuel Atachia. He's the lead counsel for former National Signals Bureau Director Kwabena Edubuahin. Now, we move on because the Electoral Commission of Ghana says there is a need to address the challenges encountered during the 2024 general elections. The Commission's Director of Electoral Services, Samuel Dotokwa, says the Commission plans to introduce policies and measures to ensure that the challenges experienced during the last election do not recur. He disclosed this at an inter-party dialogue organized by the National Peace Council.
we have to come out with certain policies and plans to ensure that we are not going to entertain what happened in 2024. And the first thing that we have to do, if we look at coalition centers and the way and manner people disrupted ballot papers, result forms, because at that time, we're not having any portal where the scan results can be sent. So going forward, Commission has plans in place to ensure that.
We'll move on because the President, John Dramani Mahama, has approved new appointments and reassignments as part of a reorganization of the National Security Council Secretariat. The changes affect key positions in operations, intelligence, logistics, and special investigations and take immediate effect. A statement that has been signed by spokesperson to the President, Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwachufosu MP, noted that these appointments and reassignment take immediate effect. Now, the appointments are Major Retired General William Yamdo, who is a former Chief of Army Staff and is appointed Deputy National Security Coordinator. Now, if you go onto our website, 3news.com, we have all the appointments and reassignments enlisted there. We move on because the chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee, Al-Ahaji Amadou Sorogo, has denied any wrongdoing on his part and his committee during the AXA deal. Reports from a U.S. jury on the AXA deal indicate some $46,000 was allegedly distributed some 18-member committee and some MPs as part of bribe to facilitate the deal. But speaking on Hot Edition on 3FM, Alhaji Sorogo says that cannot be true.
My sister, if somebody says after the ratification, where is the? I don't understand what is meant by bribery. Because I know that none of my members, because I as the chairman, I never received anything. And I don't know. So those who are saying that money is exchanged, we are challenging them. They should come and point. This is the one who took it.
That's Alhaji Amadou Sorogo. He's the chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee. On his part, a former member of parliament for the Tamale Central constituency, Inusaf Hussaini, is calling for a regime to regulate contributions made by outsiders towards the work of committees of parliament as part of efforts to reduce corruption.
The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act makes such payments corrupt activities.
Right.
Because you the beneficiary of the agreement, are facilitating the approval. And you ought not to facilitate the approval. Now,
that's Inusaf Hussaini. He's a former member of parliament for the Tamale Central constituency. The National Peace Council says there is a need for political parties to have a common focus to protect the peace of the country. Speaking at an inter-party dialogue, the chairman of the council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi Fianu, noted that political parties and their supporters must be mindful of the inflammatory language as the country strives hard to sustain its peace and democracy. Here's more in this report.
The dialogue brought together political parties, civil society organizations, and development partners to reflect on how Ghana can strengthen its democratic institutions and sustain the peace it has enjoyed. Speaking on the state of the country's peace, board chairman of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi Fianu, explained that Ghana continues to be a peaceful country. However, there are still some gaps that need to be closed.
Before we go, the Ministry of Health has rejected claims of a shortage of antiretroviral medicines in Ghana, saying the medicines remain available at designated health facilities across the country. The ministry's response follows a statement by the Network of Persons Living with HIV in Ghana, which raised concerns over the availability of ARVs. Rhoda Kofi is with NAPLAS Ghana.
Currently, we don't have even PrEP that is used for prevention. Telolami that is even used for prevention is totally out of stock. That one, we are not even rationing it. So it means we are not preventing.
Now, but the spokesperson for the ministry, Tony Goodman, in a Facebook post on Tuesday, August 11, 2026, said it is not accurate that antiretroviral medicines are unavailable in the country. He rejected the claims that ARVs have expired at ports, explaining the reasons for the delays.
The way it works is that you would do the procurement
to the various funders, like the Global Fund and the rest. It goes through a process. It's consigned in the name of the Ministry of Health, and then it's cleared. It is that period, the period it arrives, and then the process is going through finance, waiver here and there. It's that process that delays a bit. In the past, you can have this at a port for about 6 months or a year. That is a thing of the past, except this particular one. I will try as much as possible to reduce the bureaucracy so that we can have it cleared.
That's a spokesperson for the Ministry of Health, Tony Goodman, speaking to 3FM much earlier. And that's it for the morning news on 3FM 92.7. Don't forget to check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Christabel. Success Trevor. Business is up next.